Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now November 23rd of 2020, and ever since the very end of the Skywalker saga, a lot of fans around the world have been very intrigued by the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney, Lucasfilm, Bob Iger, Bob Chapek, you name it, and exactly what, of course, George, John, and Dave have in store for the future of the franchise. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that yes, we do know that they are now currently in a phase of desperation and damage control that they are really trying to crawl out of in order to really embrace these new Star Wars movies and TV shows and so on and so forth. Now, granted, we do have George, John, and Dave doing everything in their power to restore Star Wars and to really build it from the ground up. Mind you, it's going to take a lot of time and effort, and it's going to take a high success rate to really get Star Wars to the same exact level as the MCU, also known as the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, with that being said, of course, what's really exciting all has to do with, of course, the sequel trilogy and everything that's being done, you know, with the new cuts of episodes 8 and 9 that are currently in the works. But it's not just that. There is one big thing that may very well be quite controversial to a lot of Star Wars fans out there, involving the prequel trilogy and the character of Anakin Skywalker, who was portrayed by Hayden Christensen many years ago. So, the thing about all of this that could very well be a very risky decision by Lucasfilm is that, well, now that the sequel trilogy is over, both Bob Iger and Chapek are hard at work on developing a brand new Star Wars trilogy of movies, as well as a new universe. However, it's explained that many changes are being made behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm in order to evolve the franchise. It's described that as of right now, one major retcon that both Disney and Lucasfilm are in fact developing for the character of Anakin Skywalker in the Star Wars franchise is by changing his origin within the Star Wars universe. Now, it's explained that Lucasfilm has a major plan to restart Anakin's backstory by making him the true creation of both Palpatine and Darth Plagueis in the saga. So let me stop right here for a second, is that by making him the true creation of these two major Sith Lords, I think a lot of fans are either going to love this or hate this. I, however, embrace this idea. I think it's a very interesting touch to Star Wars to have Palpatine and Plagueis to be the masters behind the Skywalker bloodline. That, to me, is a very interesting side of the story that Lucasfilm is trying to craft as we speak, and how they're really trying to restart Anakin Skywalker. So not just that, alright? Further, it's noted that this major reset for Anakin Skywalker is set to go into place sometime by the end of 2021. So, 2021 is going to be a big year for Star Wars Legends coming back into fruition, as well as a lot of retcons that are going to be applied to the prequels, originals, and yes, even the sequel trilogy movies. A lot of fans out there may very well not be a fan of retcons, and it may very well be seen as desperate to kind of make certain movies or aspects seem far different than what they originally were meant to be. Now, the thing about this massive change is that it kind of applies to what we saw in the Darth Vader comics back in 2018, where Palpatine in the form of Vision is essentially, you know, initiating the birth of Anakin through Shmi, which is what they plan to do in this major retcon as well, except by both Plagueis and Palpatine. So not just that, alright, restarting, alright, the character of Anakin Skywalker is indeed described to be a very risky plan on their part, since they know that some fans may reject this retcon into the series that will involve the two Sith Lords within the Star Wars universe. Now, this new plan by Disney is to also create new stories that will involve Plagueis and Palpatine, and brand new earth-shattering revelations that will be made canon later next year for the Star Wars universe. They will also be introducing Anakin Skywalker's grandparents into the series, which will be Shmi Skywalker's parents. This concept will emerge the idea that Palpatine and Plagueis used the Force to initiate the birth of Anakin through Shmi Skywalker. So, let me just say one thing right now, is that I think it's a very risky decision no matter what scenario it's going to be in. But given that the sequel trilogy is now over and we're pretty much done with the Skywalker saga, I think a lot of fans are either going to pretty much, you know, be a little less skeptical about this. Because at the end of the day, I think what fans really want to see is that they want to see what they can do with Disney Plus and the new characters, and they also want to see some of the beloved characters from the animated series, like Ahsoka Tano and Bo-Katan, and where that's all going to go. A lot of things are happening as we speak. So at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not quite sure how the fans are really going to take this once it is indeed made canon next year in 2021. It is going to be a very interesting process, without a doubt. I think a lot of fans out there are going to be very much, a little confused or maybe even worried about how this is all going to be laid out by Lucasfilm. But like I've said before in the past, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.